Some of my best business lessons don't happen at work. They can happen anywhere around me. And one of the places I get great reminders or ideas are on pleasure trips with my wife, Holly. We went to Cuba a few months back, and if you ever get the chance, I highly recommend it. The Cuban people were incredibly gracious. It was very safe throughout Havana. I saw beautiful things, I saw resilient people, and I had amazing food, and I'm going to tell you about one of those food experiences in a moment. But I noticed as I was there and I was decompressing and taking some time off that some things made me think about hiring, and I wanted to share some of those lessons and reminders with you today. So the first one is you have to do something different to achieve something different. And look, that's not a new idea. You've probably heard that one before. But my question for you is, how much do you do it? How often do you create a different result or have a different experience because you consciously are choosing to head a different direction? Well, this happened for me on my Cuba trip. Here's one of my meals, the picture of it, and this is goat. Now look, if you had asked me before my trip, would I eat goat? The answer probably would have been no. But I was relaxed, I was at this restaurant, it was a beautiful place, everything looked really good, and the guy said the goat was really good, so I decided to try it. The whole time before the meal showed up, I'm going, ooh, what's this gonna be like? And it was amazing, it was tender and flavorful, and I'm getting hungry for goat now that I tell you this. By doing something different than I would normally do, I had a different experience. Well, apply that to your hiring, to your leadership, to your talent acquisition. Start with what's different? What's a different direction than we've been taking? Do some experimentation. Create a different experience for your hiring managers, your candidates, for your team. All right, my second lesson, apply the give and take of salsa. So as you can see from this picture, this is a picture of me salsa dancing. Oh yes, my wife talked me into it, wasn't my idea. It was amazing. It was the second best thing in the trip. I'm going to tell you about the first best one in just a moment. But this was incredible. We each had our own dance instructor and we learned to salsa. And the thing I found so amazing is the give and take that happens in salsa. Yes, there's the guys leading and the woman's following, that's the salsa, but there's this give and take, and our instructors, we had them dance for us at one point. Boy, you want to talk about give and take. Well, think about that in regards to the hiring process. How can you apply give and take to create a better candidate experience? To work better with hiring managers, to work better with your own team. When you think about that kind of flow and fluidity and that give and take of dancing, when you apply that to hiring, there's lots of improvements you can make as well. All right, now my number one experience in Cuba was all about the power and pleasure of collaboration. I went cooking. Our guide, we had set up some cooking and our guide asked us, do you want the tourist experience or the real one? So of course we wanted the real one. So we went to a home that was a family member and we cooked in that home. This is a home that was a big house that was subdivided 7 ways. 2 people lived in this tiny little space. And here I am cooking with Noni, and we cooked this amazing meal of pork and plantanos and salad and beans and rice. And she didn't speak very much English, but we had this collaboration going on. It was pleasant, and we got along immediately, even though we're from 2 very different cultures. Look, this house had no running water, but we still had amazing things in common because we collaborated. When you think about the power of collaboration, the pleasure that comes with that, think about applying that in your hiring experience. Instead of talking about doing work, why not have candidates collaborate with you to do sample work? Get other people on the team involved as well. You'll put everybody at ease, they'll get to show their best skills, you'll get to see how you all work together because you're enjoying the power and pleasure of collaboration. All right, one of my last lessons was that old can be new. And I saw this all over Cuba. They have all these amazing old cars. Here's a picture of the car that we were riding in and our tour guide, Ernesto. And this is a 1956 Chevy. And it was in pristine condition, but here's the cool thing. It had a Mercedes diesel engine. And when he cranked this thing up, man, you could hear it. We drove all over Havana and the countryside outside of Havana in it. You know, you don't have to throw out old stuff. In Cuba, because of the embargo, because of the restrictions, they've had to take old things and make them new again. Well, think about how you could do that in your hiring process. And I'll give you a very specific example, and it's all about referrals. Referrals are one of the greatest sources of talent. It's an old idea, but you can make it new again. You can create new referral programs, new incentives, new campaigns. You can have fun with it. Start figuring out new ways to get referrals, that old idea. Apply that to all of the hiring process, and you can make old good ideas new again simply by reinvigorating them with some mental energy. So I hope you enjoyed my little tour of Cuba. I hope you get a chance to go. And I hope this has inspired you to change some things in hiring. And I'll leave you with this, because it isn't just about Cuba, it isn't just about my trip, it's about you as well. I hope you look for the inspirational ideas all around you. Ask yourself the question, how can this idea inform my business? Yeah, I want you to take time off, I want you to have fun, but every now and then when you think about what's going on at the office, take a moment and think about how can what's going around me inform my office when I get back at work. Hey, who knows, maybe your boss will want you to take more vacations because you go on a vacation, you come back with great ideas, maybe they'll even subsidize them as well. So go to Cuba, apply my ideas today, and go seek out your own. To me, this is what life is all about, that one part of my life informs another, and I hope you do the same in your life and use these ideas I gave you today.